Bizarre fossils suggest that unicorns were real and completely terrifying. Unicorns are thought to be a majestic breed of equines with a single horn and sometimes magical abilities. Everyone knows they're the stuff of legend. But what if you found out they may have actually existed many years ago, and they weren't the peaceful and loving creatures stories made them out to be? Unicorns are normally associated with mythology, but to the Greek people, they were real animals that originated in India. A Greek historian named Ctesias described them as having the head of a stag, the feet of an elephant, and the tail of the boar, while the rest of the body is like that of the horse. In Japan and China, they also have their own unique versions of the mythical creatures called the Killin or Kirin, respectively. The Killin apparently appeared before the birth or death of someone important. This creature didn't actually resemble a horse, however. It had a scaly body, and its head looked more leonine than equine. Some people even believe that the Bible contains several mentions of unicorns, but many researchers say readers are simply mistaken. The Hebrew word for rehem, which means ox, is used 9 times throughout the book. And linguists explain the word can be loosely interpreted to describe an animal that resembles a unicorn. During the Middle Ages, an Alexandrian merchant and traveler named Cosmas Indicopletus claimed he heard stories from the people of Ethiopia about a ferocious beast whose power originated in its horn. This was only the beginning of the unicorn's storied mythology. During the 7th century in Seville, Spain, an archbishop named Saint Isidore described unicorns as strong animals who were able to kill massive elephants by stabbing them in the stomachs with their long horns. Across the globe, the mystery and interest surrounding these creatures continued to build as the years went on. During the medieval period, people thought that unicorn horns were comprised of a material called alicorn. They believed this substance had magical properties and could cure physical and mental ailments. The Vikings would often pass narwhal horns off as unicorn horns to unsuspecting tradesmen for this purpose. There have been other real animals who have inspired the myth of the unicorns as well, such as different species of antelope and cattle. 2-horned animals that lost a horn through a mutation or a fight may have added to the lore. In 1808, there was a development in the unicorn myth when the director of the Natural History Museum at Moscow State University in Russia, Gotthelf Fischer von Waldheim, discovered a species called the Elasmotherium, or the giant rhinoceros. This species was originally believed to have been extinct for 350,000 years, and it's believed to be the entire basis for the unicorn myth. After the discovery of Elasmotherium, Russian zoologist Alexander Brandt determined the species must have had an enormous horn protruding from its skull based on the size of the blood vessels circling the base. Even though Brandt suspected this gigantic species of rhinoceros was probably the basis for the myth of giant horn-wielding unicorns, the Elasmotherium supposedly died out over 250,000 years ago, so no humans would have been alive to see them. In March 2016, however, archaeologists unearthed the skull of an Elasmotherium in Kazakhstan. This discovery put the species' extinction date only about 29,000 years ago. With this timeline, there was at least a chance that Elasmotherium would have been seen by humans in time to inspire the unicorn legend. Unfortunately, people who like to think of unicorns as graceful animals with slender, white bodies and a majestic gait would be horrified by the Elasmotherium. This species was more like a terrifying rhinoceros than an ethereal pony. The Elasmotherium stood around 6 or 7 feet tall, and it could grow to 15 feet long. It was almost entirely covered with fur like mammoths were, and it weighed up to 5 tons. Experts say the horn could have grown up to 6 feet long. The Elasmotherium roamed mostly in western Siberia, but there have also been fossils found in southwestern Russia. Despite its ferocious appearance, it was actually a herbivore, just like the modern-day rhino. A paleontologist named Andrei Spansky believed that western Siberia was where this gigantic rhino species was able to thrive. He also speculated that they had the ability to dwell in more southern climates for shorter periods of time. Although some experts believed that the modern humans came into contact with the Elasmotherium, others weren't entirely sure. A cryptologist named Willie Lee thinks that stories about the species have survived from the prehistoric era. A 10th century traveler named Ibn Fadlan, however, described the beast too accurately to simply be retelling a myth. Stories from the regions where the Elasmotherium roamed described them looking much more like rhinos than Western stories, wherein they appeared to be elegant horses with magical horns. This is more proof that unicorns were real, but they were very different than we imagined them to be. So, when do these unicorns actually die out? Unfortunately, scientists really aren't sure. New evidence is still being discovered every year, and hopefully, one day, researchers will have some definite answers about this unique species.
Animal lover? Subscribe to our channel for all the latest in pet care and animal rescue. You can also visit our store, where you'll find cheeky merch for cats and dog lovers, including fun and original t-shirt designs and many other accessories you will love. Our earnings will help support and rescue animals in need and make a difference in their welfare. For more information, visit www.pawsfashion.store. Thank you for being a part of our growing community and for caring about animals and their lives, especially at a time where they need you the most.